Twitter is a cesspool of garbage. It needs to die. I hope it does. It'll probably be the best thing to happen to humanity in this country. In the meantime, let's talk about it. Comedian Trevor Noah offended by gender reveal. Parties. Child hasn't picked gender yet. Oh my God, I just can't, I don't even, I haven't dug into this type of stuff enough to know like the opposing sides, but I can tell you one thing, that when you start trying to change biology and establish science to fit your idealistic or agenda-based narrative, it's the beginning of the end for everything, really. This is like that slippery slope that is leading us in a very bad direction. It's just an example of it. The fact that it's gotten this insane. And it's like, I just wonder, because I always thought Trevor Noah was a pretty smart dude. I read his book. But when you're in media enough and you're talking about these political issues enough, you will become brainwashed. It's like you will forget that the water you're swimming in is tainted and you won't even pay attention to it anymore. It's become what it is what is. And so that's how bad ideas like this come to be. Now, it's like, I don't know if he's saying this to pander to people or if he actually believes that the child needs to be given a chance to decide if he is a boy or she is a girl or vice versa or whatever you freaking call it at this point. You've seen a lot of this cancel culture come from the gender stuff. A lot of it's been based around like, well, Jordan Peterson was so demonized and attacked, and why people, I don't know, I guess they hate him because he says things like this. I don't know enough about all the different points. I don't really want to know enough about it. I believe that these type of things are probably psychological issues. I think Ben Shapiro talks about that quite a bit. There's a lot of data with suicide and things like that to back that up. I'm not going to even get into that. I'm just fascinated that these otherwise intelligent celebrities and people, and like this guy Kyle Griffin, who's a complete and utter idiot. And I don't like saying that about people, but this is just like absolutely insane. Like I spent like 5 minutes on his Twitter feed last night and I want to vomit. But let's just look through this and see what we can see. Because what you see on Twitter is massive echo chamber. So this is, on this post, you'll see like just left-leaning people attack, I guess, Ted Cruz, for example, because his comment to this was, a fair point, many liberal males never grow balls. And then I actually saw an article that was written about this tweet, because again, that's now news, right? Somebody puts a tweet up and then journalists write articles about it. I guess that's warranted. It's things we need to know. We need to know that he said this or whatever. It was funny, I guess, kind of, it was clever. And then you see some of these replies saying like, come on, Ted, you're better and smarter than this. Then somebody saying, says a man that won't defend his father or wife. I don't know what that even means. I don't really care to figure it out, but it's probably some other situation that this person is trying to discredit this person and what he's saying based on something else. This is very much the halo effect, the horn effect, the likability bias. It's the idea that you don't like something somebody says and on one thing, and therefore you try to discredit them on everything else, as if they can't have a point ever in the history of their life on anything else. It is completely flawed and backwards. It's the type of bias that is, and really persuasion, or even what's another word? It's like toxic persuasion. I don't even know what to call it, but it's really dangerous. And I keep using that word, dangerous. Look at the most recent Netflix documentary that just came out about the social whatever. I forgot what it was called. You'll see how dangerous this stuff is. 2020, how divisive this has become. The protesting, the rioting, the looting. This is all a result of social media. This is a result of tribalism, divisiveness, and a lot of powerful people that have been stoking the flame for their own agenda, for their own political agenda, which usually is tied to a financial agenda. Look at this guy, Kyle Griffin. I think he works for like MSNBC or something like that. Ted Cruz supported Donald Trump after Trump attacks his wife and accused his father of helping assassinate JFK. Now let's assume Ted did that and Donald Trump did that. I believe they were political rivals at one point, maybe to try to vie for the White House. And it's like, that's what you do. That's what politics is. You attack the other person. Sometimes you say things that are stupid or outlandish. Sometimes you don't. Ted lost, because he's not president and Trump is. And maybe he decides that now he needs to choose his side. And I assume he's Republican, conservative, whatever. And so he's going to be supporting Trump. He's going to be, sucking it up and playing on his team, if you will. Now, aside from the fact that teams and politics and all of this is completely broken and utterly preposterous, this is another, again, diversion of logic. It's kind of an ad hominem. It's I forget the actual bias where I don't think it's straw man. It's one of those. It's one of those biases where, again, it's like a deflection of the thing he's saying and trying to discredit his point, because he said many liberal males never grow balls. And it's like, he means Metaphorically grow balls is what it means, because obviously males grow balls. I mean, I guess some people will contest that, but as far as I can tell, if you're a male, you grow balls. It's just biology. Whether up here is connected to that or not, that's like that muddy whatever that I won't even get into. I found this thread and I started reading below, and I just kept seeing a lot of this left-leaning stuff, and I just, it sucks because I don't like to identify with either side, and I would say I'm probably in the center of most things. I believe in limited government. I'm probably more libertarian and even anarchist to an extent, at least for certain ideas. I believe the government should protect personal property rights, and that's about it. And the free market should decide. And the capitalistic market we have today is not free market. It's crony capitalism. It's crony politics. If we remove that, if we let the actual market happen, if we didn't socialize the losses, everyone's like pissed off about these banks getting bailed out and stuff. That's what you do when you socialize. You make it equal. So people can't fail. So businesses can't fail. And what you get is you get bad behavior. You get fragile systems, fragile people, fragile egos, fragile worldviews, and everything comes crashing down. And if you take it far enough, millions die. So that's my problem with all of it. Here's a good one. To my California neighbors, when you vote for the same political party that has ruled our cities and state without opposition, you get rolling power outages, water shortages, high taxes, fewer businesses, addicts living on the streets, and rioters dismissed as protesters. Well said, sir. So let me just read a few of these tweets off and offer my comments. I really don't like Twitter. I just don't, but whatever. All right, Scott Adams, Dilbert, comic creator, I guess. Smartest Democrat friend believes Biden's campaign's ads are true, but Trump's ads are lies. What the hell do I do with that? I'm telling you, it's perfect. In fact, here's something this is something I've realized through the whole pandemic nonsense. Really, really smart people oftentimes are the easiest to fool because they're intellectually able to believe their own BS, right? They can like dance around and convince themselves that what they see is right and use all this faulty logic, and then they can completely cover up their own bias. Those are the dangerous people, the useful idiots that have a high intellect, but absolutely no awareness, or they're lacking in certain areas and they have certain blind spots. These people are what usually become governors and politicians and presidents, and they lead people on a one-way street based on their own bias and dogma. It's really scary. It really is. It's like you have people that are smart, and they cannot fathom the idea that both sides are wrong and right in different regards. LA County Sheriffs. To the protesters blocking the entrance and exit of the hospital emergency room yelling, "We hope they die," referring to 2 LA sheriffs ambushed today in Compton. That's just disgusting. These people are pathetic. In fact, that is a violation of speech. You're not supposed to incite violence. They should be arrested. Throw those pieces of S in jail. Trump gets second nomination for Nobel Peace Prize for Serbia thing. Nobody covers it, of course. Finally, to wrap this up, here's a tweet. Just watch to see if people rush to the front of the barricades ahead of tonight's rally in Minden, Nevada. It looks like it's a Trump rally because they're all wearing red. Yeah, red hats and stuff. And you don't see this for Biden. I think the left I pretty much know that the left believes they're going to lose at this point. And that's why they're pulling out every stop. They're trying to get mail-in voting so they can commit fraud. Hillary Clinton's telling Biden that he should not succeed because they should try to contest it if Trump wins no matter what. It's like, this is what politics has become. It's not about fairness. It's not about equality. It's not about doing what's right for the people. It's about power. 100% about power. And when you realize that these power-hungry fools are playing games with your lives, your children's lives, and their future and your future, you should be very, very distraught. It's, again, another reason why the socialism and the far left and this is nonsense, because you're going to give these idiots in power, these power-hungry, soulless, in a lot of cases, creatures that have become addicted to attention and power and manipulation and whatever, you're going to give them the keys to your future. You're going to give them the say in what gets distributed, how it does, whatever. Are you insane? What the hell are you talking about? How is that justifiable in your brain? Because you don't like one guy? In fact, I watched a video last night. I've been saying this for a long time. I'm not pro anyone. I'm anti-socialism for sure, and anti-Marxism and anti-fascism, 100%. But I'm not really pro anyone unless the specific idea itself is pro-American and pro-freedom of speech and pro all the rights that the Constitution affords us. I'm pro that person whenever he or she does something that is pro that, okay? But what I have been saying is a lot of absurdities around Trump because people don't like him and a lot of females hate him. And there was a good video by Mr. Reagan where he talked about why do Democrat women hate Trump so much? And he dug into it pretty deep. He asked women, he did interviews, did things like this. They don't know anything about his policies or what he's done. They don't like him because he doesn't speak well. He's not a good speaker. He fumbles around. He's like a straight shooter. He says things that are controversial or uncouth. And then people call him a racist. They call him a sexist. They call him all these things. And they know nothing about the actual politics. So what I've been saying is I think people don't like him because of how he talks and what he says. I don't think they know anything about what he's done or not done or policy or politics or anything. They don't like him because of the way he talks. And then the media doesn't like him because of all the powerful people on the left that don't want him there and that their entire life goal at this point is to get him out of office. They feed the media with the BS and they take the things and twist them and sensationalize them and whatever. It's like, it's unbelievable. A final thing that I saw that was just disgusting is I saw a tweet about somebody being attacked. They said a far-right Trump fan attacked me. And I've now won the lawsuit or some crap like that. And it's like, then you see all these people that come on and jump on that bandwagon and comment on that tweet and basically blame Trump for that. It's like this weird blaming this guy for the virus or for this or for that and blame him for every possible thing they can. You guys are out of your mind. You've lost your mind. You're not using logic or critical thinking. You're being defined by hate and by your own bias, and you're not seeing clearly. You're connecting things that don't belong to be connected, that can't be connected, that shouldn't be connected. You're the reason we're having this tribalism, this divide, and why the country is going to eventually crumble, or at least come to a head, come to civil war. Thing is that people don't really understand is if it does come to a civil war, I believe the silent majority will wake up and the far left and all the snowflakes will be very, very rudely awakened by it. And that's all I'll say on that. Let me know if there's any content you ever want me to cover, and I'll see you in the next one.